So if you're in a new space, a new dorm, new share house like this, if you are uncomfortable and then the first thing that is available is your PlayStation, you play PlayStation at 5 p.m. You do that a few days in a row. After 2 weeks, that'll be this symbol, this bastion, this pillar of comfort.
How you going? And welcome to our show, A Button. Today starring Tess, Connor, and Witchbeam's video game, Unpacking. In the game, we unpack our sentimental stuff and in the commentary explore ideas of home and the anxieties around it. So get snug, real bevy, and here we go.
How do having hobbies like bouldering? What's your experience with hobbies where you have to go out somewhere, be in a public space?
Well, I did D&D. That was a big jump. I think I've talked about it.
I suffer from short-term memory loss.
You know, it is scary. It's absolutely worth it. But no, I've never been a real social hobbyist, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Social hobbyist. Yeah, it does. Correct me if I'm wrong, in the sense that when you embark on hobbies, seems like there's little to no interest in embracing the company of strangers.
It's definitely not my go-to.
So what is your go-to?
This person does D&D. This is a dice.
Oh, it's a dice tower.
This is a dice tower. Oh, this isn't a dreidel. What am I talking about? This is some dice.
Ah, that was my first guess.
Um,
Dreidel Malfoy is my favourite Harry Potter character.
I like activities that allow one...
Is that a red panda?
I think so. That also... Kiwi pen. Oi, oi. Yeah, I like hobbies that allow one... I've lost that forever now.
Oh no, never coming back.
That allow one to be creative. Ooh. And whether or not it's social it's important, but it's not the most important to me, but it definitely is for others, which is so fair. I just like to be able to find myself, no, just express myself.
Accept yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself.
Just express myself in many different ways. So D&D is a great one because you get to play lots of different characters. But I don't know. I guess I really haven't found that sweet spot yet. I've tried a lot of different things. I was one of those kids where my parents would constantly sign me up for sports in the attempts that it would make me and my brother social and fit, but we were not social and fit kids, just fundamentally. Oh my god, chicken! So bless oh, baby chicken!
Look at all those chicks!
Yeah, so bless the socks. It just didn't work out for them trying to have kids in that way that were exactly like them. And that's fine. I just wish they'd realized sooner, because if they'd signed me up to something like chess club, maybe that would have fit me better. What about you, though? You've always been a person that likes to do, I don't know, march to the beat of your own drum. That's that phrase.
In ways. What's the question?
Well, how...
What is the question?
What is the question? That's a great question. I don't fucking know.
Also, what does that button do that's flashing? It's a new button. Floor plan.
Oh, these are bedrooms that aren't ours.
Oh, we can't snoop.
No. I suppose my question would be, how do you navigate new social environments while maintaining your own passions and interests? Damn, what a question.
There's this fantastic moment of applause. a nervous silence falls over the crowd. Single person in the crowd whispers, "Oh shit."
I gotta go.
I very much believe in the idea that when you're in a new place and change is inevitable, and like last episode, sometimes when everything feels uncomfortable, then it's just a matter of holding out for 2 weeks or so. And then all of a sudden you'll feel comfortable doing what you happen to be doing. So if you're in a new space, a new dorm, new share house like this, if you are uncomfortable and then the first thing that is available is your PlayStation, you play PlayStation at 5 p.m, you do that a few days in a row. After 2 weeks, that'll be this symbol, this bastion, this pillar of comfort. And all of a sudden that's going to be a habit. So I very much believe in this idea, this story where I first heard of it, where first you make your habits and your environment, and then they'll create you. Is this a bad habit?
No. This is perfect. Chip. Oh, Chip. What is that?
That would be... Can you rotate it? Space heater? No.
No.
Tape recorder? No.
Maybe? The hell is
That's
that?
a weird one. It kind of looks like a safe, like a vault, but it can't be.
I'll put it up here for now.
So, while I believe in that idea and I've seen it happen a million times in myself, there's a counter situation that's propped up when I've had to move 5 or 6 times. It's a completely different environments, towns, with, different zeitgeists. And it's that every time you're in a new place, you kind of meet a new version of yourself and you kind of roll a new character.
I like that.
There's overall traits that stay roughly the same. Like if you're high in charisma, chances are you're still going to be fairly high in charisma. But in certain environments, that could actually be the opposite. You could completely... I'd say the best way to say it is moving a lot has actually made me feel not just less concrete in my identity and how I would think of my own stats as a person and skills and strengths and weaknesses, actually a little bit more doubtful. And that's just me personally, because there have been situations where I've been the musical, expressive, courageous kid, and then I've moved to a different place and all that's changed is what's outside of me. But that has bled so much into me that all of a sudden I'm nervous and I actually don't feel comfortable doing those very same things. And things that I used to be able to do with ease or confidence feel so far from possible. And the opposite, there are times where I've pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed to make little changes in one situation, that by moving to a new place with a new zeitgeist, new people, new climate, that change has actually come effortlessly and in a big way. The easiest way to say it is if you lived in a share house where everyone is into the beach and you lived 2 minutes away from the beach, chances are that's going to affect your life somehow.
It's a conspiracy, man! The oil company's got a grip on the government!
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. And so it would boil down to the old adage, if you hang around a hairdresser enough, you're going to get your hair cut.
So don't ever be doing that to me.
I do it to you. I'm in there and the night's styling away.
And you can hold out, but in a big way, it's kind of knocked my confidence with caution, because now I'm a little less drinking the Kool-Aid, which can be sad when people try to inspire that you can be whoever you want in any situation, because there is such a strong force of change that could be working against you or with you or crossways to you at any time. That is your environment. And sometimes the focus when put on the environment, is actually going to make more difference than you ever could trying to work just on you within that environment, not trying to influence the board rather than the pawn, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. Pawn chess piece.
Mm.
I understand.
So how does that answer compare to what you expected?
I mean, I think it's a phenomenal answer. I would...
Do you see hypocrisy?
This is madness!
I do a little bit, but only in the positive sense of, I think every time you enter a space, you leave it better than you found it.
Connor, move that twist.
Look, when we hot swap, you can fix whatever you think is wrong with this setup.
I mean, sometimes, you know, you go with the flow. You're an easygoing person, but I think you always cultivate a space, and when you leave it, people are like, what a nice guy.
Thank you.
That's my impression of you anyway. Like,
I appreciate you saying that because it aligns with some of the good feedback. And I've had bad feedback, and I fed back.
from who? I'll beat him up.
Beat him up. You
Who
got
the
a problem with
fuck's
this guy, babe? Just that. It's always been instilled in me, eldest child syndrome, to tie things with a knot and end on a helpful, positive, amicable note. And so I am jealous because I don't have it in me to, like a drama show, just peace out, storm off Lindsay Lohan style and kind of run away. And sometimes it's frustrating because sometimes you're in a situation where you're tearing your hair out. All you feel is anger, anxiety, panic, freaking out, and you just need to run. You're like, I just need to get out of this. This is shit. People I'm around are ruining my life. I'm ruining my life. I need change. So it's frustrating because there are situations where you probably do just need to just leave. Just give you 2 weeks notice and friggin' disappear.
Yeah.
However, the double-edged sword of that is being someone who's always been like, no, I promised 3 months in the contract, I'll see it to the end. Or I'm going to be as good as I can to the housemates I live with, even if I don't jive with them. Or any other version of that you might feel or experience. It does mean that with the very few exceptions, nearly any chapter that I've closed could reopen with kindness and an invitation.
Idly-ho, neighborina.
And whether it's people I've lived with or worked with or even family members who there's trauma surrounding, whether I like it or not, there is the ability to send a message and say, hey, how you going? And likely be met with an emphatic, oh my God, how are you doing? Like that pleasantry. And I don't know if that's always the case. Now, what's this strat?
Now, I don't know what this is.
They're scrubbers.
The Scrub Daddy, the cutest but most
Sponge with the hardback.
Under the sink thing.
Boom.
There you go. Now what the hell is this?